What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 4 of Yin and Wang. I got it right this time.
Good job.
Yeah,
Glad I'm not the Wang.
You're not the Wang this week.
All right. Maybe we should trade. Maybe one week I am Wang.
We'll be sword fighting, though. So I don't know if that's necessarily good.
It's very progressive.
It's true. You can identify as Wang one week.
Okay.
So we are tan, if you can tell, because we just got back from Florida.
Yes.
And North Carolina.
And Georgia.
And Georgia. Well, it was Georgia first and then Florida, but if they have been watching, they already saw Georgia.
Right. I know.
Did we show any Florida? We haven't shown any Florida.
No, I don't think we did any Florida.
No.
But I was trying to send you pictures, and you were like, why are you texting me?
You did send me pictures, and I forgot to add them to the thing before we started.
Yep.
Of food.
Yeah, we could just talk about the food, but I feel like people will want to see the food.
They do. Talk about the food. Let me see.
Well, we eat lots of seafood because we're in Florida, on the Gulf Coast, right?
Yes.
Lots of grouper. All the things. They had Maine lobster. We did not get the Maine lobster.
Because it seems weird that you would go to Florida
to
and
have Maine lobster. Yeah, agreed. Lots of grouper. We had a charcuterie board, which is what I'm trying to show you guys because I'm still amazed by this and how no one else is doing this. But Lala and St. Pete. Everyone should go to Lala and have a charcuterie board.
Oh, I don't know.
What else did we have there? Oh, we had octopus.
Yeah.
That's there. We went to that Mexican place and we had, you didn't have seafood. I did. I had some kind of seafood, something with like mofongo with, I had plantains and
stuff. What is mofongo?
I don't even know. What is mofongo?
I don't know. Hold on. We're still trying to get to...
I don't know.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, charcuterie was really good.
We're almost there.
We're so close to the charcuterie.
Preview.
It was tuna, ahi tuna, smoked salmon on little baguettes.
All right, so here is the octopus, which had a little bit of potatoes.
Very good.
With it. It was very good. If you have never had octopus, it's like scallions, kind of.
Scallion?
You don't think so, as texture-wise?
A scallion? Like an onion scallion?
No.
Scallop?
Scallop.
I'm like, I do not agree with this at all.
I'm like, why? I'm pretty sure they're pretty close.
Guys, we gotta upset the dogs with our laughing.
Hey!
Marley!
Who knows? There could be the neighbor driving down the street, Amazon delivering a box. Because we're basically...
Okay, that's enough. There's no one there.
There's no one there. We're
no one there.
Basically at the end of a little dirt road. V! Vern.
V!
Stella.
Come on.
We're at the end of like a dirt road. Vern.
V!
Vern's the troublemaker. He's not even sure what's going on.
He just barks because he thinks he's supposed to bark.
Because the other dogs bark, so then he starts barking. But
he's being a good dog.
Pick him up so everyone
Okay,
can see.
alright. Come here, BB.
Okay, here you go. We'll bring you back full screen.
This is Vern.
This is Vern.
Everyone loves Vern.
He's the only one that you can pick up right now.
He's the only one that would be happy with being picked up. He's going to smell my kombucha. He would love to be on the podcast. Look at him.
We need to mount his bed to the wall or something.
Put the other camera on him. This is Vertical.
V, what do you think?
V, he loves it.
Podcasting's fun.
He likes it. He's such a good boy.
Sometimes not.
Sometimes not, but I think he's mostly a good boy.
No, he's good.
He's just interesting. I can't believe someone didn't want this dog.
Somebody gave V up,
Yeah.
and he did. They didn't gave V. Okay, they gave V up,
They did.
and Bethany rescued him.
Yep. Yeah.
And now look at him, just sitting there with eye boogers
And loving
just
the
panting
podcast.
on
Like.
the podcast. So this is, it's amazing online. You don't really hear it like you do. Like if I put the headphones on right here and I listen to us, I can hear him snoring.
In
Maybe
the
I have
background.
my headphones turned up too
Yeah,
much or
Vern
something.
snores pretty loud. He snores probably louder than any human I've ever heard.
I will not say that. I definitely know people that
snore louder.
Way
Maybe
louder.
my grandfather was louder.
But if you do hear something,
It's usually
it's him.
him.
Usually. If
He's
it's snoring, if it just sounds like a motor idling really fast, that's probably just Stella.
Oh, you all right there, bud?
So we just picked them up last night. We got back last night. We picked them up. Everybody's very happy to be home.
Vern tried to come with me to the grocery store today, but it's too hot to leave him in the car, so he got left here.
That's how you have people break your windows and try to get your dog out.
The one time we were in Massachusetts. We stopped at a dispensary. We were in there. It was only like 70 degrees out too. It wasn't even like that hot. We had all the windows.
And the windows are down like this much.
All the windows are open. And we were literally in the dispensary for less than 10 minutes. It was not long, because how long can you spend in there anyway?
Oh, you can spend a while.
Well, yeah, but we had like someone helping us and everything. They go, what do you want? You know, whatever. But someone legit came in and was like, oh, is that your dog's in the car? Someone's about to call the cops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for what? The windows are effing open. It's only 70 degrees outside. Like, it's not like it's 95.
Rocket's coming.
Is this rocket coming out? Vern.
He's horny about podcasts. Dude, V is so horny to podcast. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm crying. It's hilarious. He loves it.
It's weird.
It is weird. He does hump his bed every morning. He's just horny.
I think it's the way he's sitting on your leg.
You think he's excited? It's just out.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Well, Vern.
You better put him down before he drags it on
know,
your
but
leg. Put his other leg up.
We're not going to show his red rocket on camera. All right, V,
unless he
you're going to go
consents.
down.
Unless he consents.
Say goodbye.
Then it's fine. Because he's of age.
All
right, we're going back to the Seacouterie.
Hair on me.
So this is the Seacouterie. The other one
octopus. We already
was
talked about the octopus, and you were saying
this is what I was gonna say. It's like a scallop, like as far as texture wise, it's soft. They're not chewy typically.
Well, they can get chewy real quick if they're not cooked right, which is why you want good octopus.
The first time I ever had octopus was I think it was Colombia, I'm pretty sure. And they just brought a whole little one. It was like 10 inches, the whole thing.
Okay.
And it was just like smushed down in one of those. It was like a handle with these two little flat like grate things. And they must have just cooked it like that and then just brought it right out. But it was crazy because you could eat straight through the whole thing. There was nothing that you didn't have to, that you had to avoid. And I was like... kind of blown away by that there was nothing. It was crazy. Supposedly those giant ones have like a beak, right? Giant octopus.
Yeah, I'm sure there's parts you're not supposed to eat if they have like any ink or anything, right? Or is that not an octopus?
That's a squid. Good. Now I don't feel so dumb for my
at least a scallop and a scallion are very different. Other than the fact that they start with an S. Oh my God, it's not that close. They start with SC.
It's pretty close. That's all you need. It's basically the same word.
All right. Well, I would say scallops are a little softer.
A little softer than octopus?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I would go with that.
But their texture is, if it's a tiny bit different, you know how scallops are kind of like I feel like you could peel scallops like to little strips, right? Don't they come apart?
I mean, they do, but not
bit.
Like strip.
Well,
I don't know.
anyway,
I don't know. I feel like you're
getting
the fact
too
that you're
technical.
calling scallops scallions is we should probably not talk about them.
That just voided any point that I would make after that. Real cool.
Show the charcuterie.
The charcuterie's up.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to explain what was on it. It was the shrimp cocktail, ahi tuna, lobster salad, the hot smoked fish dip, or was it hot or no? It was just smoked fish dip. I don't remember. And then, the smoked salmon with the capers and the cream cheese.
Yes, that was very good. It was basically like a lox bagel, but on
little baguette thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's delicious. Point being is we had our fill of seafood.
We had a lot of seafood.
Ate a lot. I did have scallops.
And scallions.
And there was no scallions.
What?
It was just scallops. Remember I had the Three Kings, which was like grouper.
Yeah, and they
shrimp
didn't
and
put
scallops.
And
then I had, what did I have the next day that was also 3 something? And
you had 3 wise men or some shit like that. What did you have?
I don't remember. What did I have?
I don't know. 3 kings, and then you had 3 something. I was like, you're into 3s right now, huh?
Because I like a variety, and I like trying different things.
Well,
so it's I like getting like the 3 different proteins is nice because I'm not just stuck in on one.
Well, and that's what we typically like to do whenever we travel or anything. We like to try whatever the local thing is.
Exactly.
Even when I used to go overseas and stuff, I'd ask the promoters, I'd be like, what do you eat here? Well, you'd probably, and I'm like, no, what are you going to get?
Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to have at this place?
Yeah, I'm not getting pizza in Florida.
And they'd be like, this and that. And I go, okay, how do you want it? And I go, no, how do you have it? Like, again, just get me exactly how you would have it.
Typically what I try to do too.
Is that thing broken off of the
looks like it. Why'd you break it?
How did that even get up there? Did you put that up there? Something broke off of a shelf, just like this shelf behind Bethany. One of these things broke off.
We have another one to put up because Clint brought home more of his memorabilia stuff from travels, and between my travels too, we have a lot of stuff to go on shelves.
We have a lot of stuff. Here's a Chinese Red Bull. Where are we over here? Here's a Chinese Red Bull.
What's this thing here? What's this Red Bull?
Can
you see the thing?
That's a Thailand Red Bull. Oh. That's an original.
Have you been to Thailand?
No, but somebody gave that to me. This is an old one. This is an original Red Bull, like in Thailand. It was real small. And then they bumped it up to 8 ounces. And then, Monster America, we ruined the whole thing. And now they're like 24 ounces or whatever. This is a Mountain Dew from Oman. It's in Arabic, which I thought was pretty trippy. I was like, oh. And there's pictures somewhere. There's
we had to hang everything
newspaper from China.
China.
I also am a terracotta warrior.
Right. We should show everyone that.
Why didn't I go to this set? I should have. Hold on. Okay. This is much better. So that's the Arabic Mountain Dew.
Show them that. I'm going to get your terracotta warrior picture. Is it in one of these frames?
It's right behind there. This is the Thailand Red Bull. And here's the Red Bull from China. This is Red Bull Extra. This has actually still got stuff in it.
This makes me laugh so much. It's so ridiculous.
Okay.
All right. Look at Clint.
There you go. I'm a terracotta warrior.
We're going to hang this up not in the bedroom.
Not in the bedroom?
No, we're going to hang it up
probably
somewhere.
Right over here, yeah. So that's like one of the 7 wonders of the world, they say.
Well, you have your actual terracotta warrior.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for that because he was on the desk before.
Or I put him on the shelf.
So they say that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Some emperor made all these terracotta warriors. No 2 of them are the same.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think that there's over like 300 or something. None of them are the same. They all weigh different amounts. They used to, back in the day, have gold weapons, which the people, basically after his dynasty ended, yeah, everybody went in there and took all the stuff, and there were actually wooden roofs over top of all the stuff. There was 3 chambers. The one had like however many people in it, and then there was another one with all the generals on horses and stuff and carriages, like making plans. And then there was another room with like extra infantrymen and some generals or something like that. Oh, but they all had gold weapons. All that stuff got stolen. Then they lit it all on fire, and that's how all the roofs ended up disappearing. But, yeah, so some farmer was plowing his field and ended up, one of the faces popped up. And he took the face and threw it in his garbage. The garbage men come by and see the face in there, and they're like, hey. So they go someplace and tell somebody, they're like, hey, we found this, blah, blah, blah. We think it's, some kind of whatever. I don't know what. Yeah, exactly. So then whatever historic people went there and checked it out, and they found all this stuff, and now that guy's rich, and he was just throwing these things out.
So that's where are they still all at the same place?
Yeah, they built a big roof over top of them and stuff over each room. So I didn't even know what that was, and they kept going, the promoter kept going, we gotta go to the blah, blah, blah. We gotta go to blah, blah, blah. I don't even know what he was calling it because I had no idea about it. So then we end up pulling there, and they're like, yeah, it's one of the 7 wonders of the world. And I start looking it up, which I didn't have service, so I don't think I could even look it up. So I think we just rolled up there.
Yeah, do it.
I was like, holy shit.
That's awesome.
It's pretty crazy. But seafood.
We're going back to the seafood, yeah. So we had a good trip. Seafood.
Unless you want to talk about more. We don't have everything
up. What do you want to talk more about? Your terracotta warriors?
No, I'm saying we don't have more memorabilia as we pull it out and put it up. This is, I think, from China as well.
I was going to say, you need to explain that Lemmy is a gargoyle. Someone was asking if that was a bird.
Yeah.
I think.
He's cut off right now.
He's a little cut off. That's a gargoyle. His name is Lemmy. There you go.
He just sits on the shelf.
All of our fun things.
He's the shelf sitter.
Yeah. It's his home.
That thing's like a little sketchy.
He stays.
Not him. The shelf itself is a little bit sketchy.
Whatever.
Oh no, I put this over your face.
I should just hide behind it.
I'll move it. Well, we can't put it over the mask. That's a Chinese death mask. Which it's actually like good luck. It's not bad
death
luck.
Is usually a symbol of like rebirth and like you start like death of like one way of life and like the beginning of a new one. Like in tarot, the death card, it's not a bad card. It's a card of transformation because you're letting the old self die and you're transforming into...
We've just taken death poorly.
Yeah, I mean, we made it so that, when you die, you go to hell and or you go to heaven. So we've just made it this thing where it's like you should be afraid of it because you might go to heaven, you might go to hell, instead of it just being like a transformation into another, Yeah.
Agreed.
Whatever realm or world or...
Wouldn't you say most people, when a situation ends, they're sad about it instead of being excited for what the next chapter is, which would be a better way to try to look at that stuff.
Yeah, I guess we're not really optimistic.
Here we go. This shirt. Oh, we over here, yeah. This shirt is One President's Bar. It says, I want you, and that's One President's Bar in Israeli. What do they use?
I think
What's their letter? Hebrew.
Yeah, Hebrew. Bethany means home in Hebrew.
So I got this in... That's very nice. So I got this in Israel. This was a bar we kept going to.
And then did you explain to
them
that that's not the president?
Yeah. They're like, first off, they got a Jewish star on Uncle Sam. This is Uncle Sam. And then they got a Jewish star on it, on his hat.
The number one president.
Number one president. And I'm like, that's not the president. And they go, and they're like, what? And I'm like, that's like just a mascot of the government. And they're like, what? And I'm like, it doesn't represent the actual president. It's like the government as a whole. And they're like,
Israel would be like understanding of propaganda. Like we have a lot of propaganda, but you would think that they would be like, oh, it's just propaganda. Like we deal with that too. Or do they not see it as propaganda maybe?
Does everybody here see it as propaganda?
I mean, no, but they should.
But they don't. So, I mean, I guess you have some people that are like there. I'm sure it's everywhere.
One of the dogs is
I know. Somebody's farting.
Stinks. I'm like, we have, it's either Vern or Stella. They're the only two next to us. Marley.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, I can't breathe. Yeah. I'm trying to talk about propaganda and all I can smell is dog farts.
Pretty rank dog farts as well.
It's probably Vern switching his food up. We ran out of the one dog. That's true. We ran out of the one dog food, so we had to give him Stella's.
While we were away, they were at my parents' and ran out of the dog food for Marley and Vern. So now Vern's eating some of Stella's food. So now he's getting all tutti fruity, fresh and fruity.
And I had him on my lap.
Fruity, tutti, fresh and fruity.
At least he didn't fart on my lap.
That's good.
Maybe
that's why I was getting a boner.
He just got really horny. I don't blame him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like when I figured you would figure everybody in China would be healthy, right? Because they all have all these old traditions and everything.
Right.
But they've gotten rid of them too. You know what I mean? It's like how many people in China really follow that? They don't.
Like TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like most big governments have just pushed pharmaceuticals on everybody because
and they're the worst because they manufacture all the pharmaceuticals.
They make you like you do it or like you're thrown in jail or killed. So there's no option. So
there was, the promoter and everything, and then they had a girl there to translate stuff for us. So I was like, what's the word for weed? And she literally wouldn't tell me. She was like, no, you don't want that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, you guys really think it's terrible, huh? And they're like, yeah. I go, what do you think about, like, Coke or ecstasy or whatever? No, that's much better. And I'm like, are you serious? Is what you think here? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I do not agree with any of that.
Yeah.
I'm like, those drugs are way worse.
Probably.
Who's the manufacturer of all the synthetic drugs?
China.
Well, so what are they telling everybody,
Probably don't have good weed in China anyway.
You have to get hash, people.
Or opium. They probably sell opium.
Told me, I don't know from my own, but you have to get hash. You can't get weed.
In China?
Yeah. In Shanghai at least. And you get this really dry, kind of powdery weed. Mm-hmm. Not weed, hash. It's like hard to pack. So then we emptied cigarettes out. I was just packing it into the cigarettes.
Got it. You can smoke cigarettes in China.
Yeah, whatever the fuck you want. You can spit everywhere. No, they do have signs some places being like, no spitting.
No spitting.
Because you'll be walking and you'll just hear, and you turn around, and it's like a 4'5".
This is disgusting.
It's like a 4'5" little woman. She's just hawking up huge loogies. Just everybody is.
Pre-COVID, I went to Thailand with one of my good girlfriends, and which is amazing. And we had a layover in Shanghai, and on the way back, I got this lady next to me who is, this is pre-COVID now, just coughing,
Chinese woman.
Yeah, and so
they
bad.
They don't care. They have
she was so bad, and I'm like, and it's whatever, like 15-hour flight or something back from China. I was like, I cannot sit next to this for 15 hours. Like,
did you?
No. So just so happens, Jessica had masks. Again, no idea why, because this was pre-COVID. I guess she just had them. So I literally took one to make a point, and I put one, because she was just legit on me, and I'm like, I'm not doing this for 15 fucking hours. So I put one on, and I was like, excuse me, can you please cover your mouth when you cough? And then she got up and moved to another seat.
Good. And
then I took the mask off, and again, pre-COVID. Now, if it was COVID, I would probably at a point just not put a mask on, because.
Well,
I didn't hate masks as much as I do now. Yeah. now that they've been forced upon me, I don't like them.
You weren't bitter towards masks.
Yeah, now I'm bitter.
Yeah, they don't have personal boundaries.
No, they come right up and she was legit on me, and I'm like, this is absolutely not. I've had terrible luck with seats on planes. That's just what it comes down to.
So there was probably 20,000 people at this race. It was a motocross race. It was one of their motocross championships.
In China.
In the middle of friggin' nowhere. We drove for 8 hours from Shanghai or something.
Yeah.
Through 100 tunnels. And there was 20,000 people in this town. I think everybody came to the race. So on the mic, after we get done, they're like, hey, you can come down, which I couldn't tell what they said. And then next thing you know, people are just bailing over the fences and just came around us. And I'm like, oh my God. Because they just run straight up and they're shoulder to shoulder with you. Everybody's trying to take pictures, grabbing you. The other guy had a Fu Manchu. So they kept just grabbing it. Everybody would just come up and grab his freaking goatee.
Oh my gosh.
It got so bad, I was on the takeoff ramp.
Do we think it's still like that now?
Yeah. I don't think they give a fuck.
You don't think it changed?
I think the people that are scared wear masks. And everybody else is still just on top of each other. I was standing on the takeoff ramp. And they kept getting on there, trying to... So then they finally pushed me off of there. And I was just started my bike up and just drove back through everybody. I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
It's invasive almost, claustrophobic. Yeah, I don't like that many people.
I can't understand what anybody's saying.
Yeah,
and everybody keeps
chaotic.
grabbing me and taking pictures and stuff and getting real close, and I'm just like, this is weird. They were nice, but it was just a lot.
Maybe that's why you never got COVID. You were already immune.
Probably.
You were never already immune to it. Maybe that's what happened with me too. Never got sick with it because I got coughed on by that lady on the plane so much. Maybe that's what she had a couple years prior.
You never know.
Never know.
Or something close enough, I guess.
Yeah, and when we went to Greece, speaking of bad plane experiences, I thought this was my hair, it's the mic. I was like...
Yeah, it's out of your shirt here.
Fix it. Touch my boob.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, he touched my boob.
I'm the producer. This is assault.
This is assault. Harvey Weinstein.
At least call me a good pervert, a good-looking pervert. Jeez.
I don't know of a good-looking pervert. What pervert is actually good-looking?
Sure, there's plenty.
You think so? I don't know. Oh, what's his name that was murdered? Ted Bundy. He was supposedly good-looking, and then he just murdered people.
You never saw him?
I mean, I've seen him. He wasn't an unattractive man. I didn't think. And that's why he, won everyone over, because he was so handsome.
All right, let's look up Ted Bundy.
Not saying he's my type, but
He's not hideous.
apparently not.
Isn't it weird? I just typed that in, right? And Ted Bundy victims come up. Like,
Right.
that's the first thing people are looking for. They're like, I want to see the victims. Were they hot? Right? Like, what else is the reason that you're going to check that out first?
I don't know. Maybe they're curious how many people Ted Bundy killed, but you think that wouldn't be...
It seems like they were looking for the victims themselves.
Oh, okay.
Is he good looking?
I mean, I don't know, but that's what they say on the documentaries. They're like, oh, he was handsome and charming, and no one would have suspected him. I don't know. He's not terrible in that picture. He does not look handsome. No. I don't know. What about this picture here? He's not. I don't. Oh God, he has to look creepy.
Dude, he's definitely creepy.
He looks creepy. Why did the documentary make him sound like he's like...
That's probably the best looking one, no?
Look how creepy he looks here.
Yeah.
But remember we watched the one documentary on Netflix and they were like...
Was that him or was that Ramirez, the Night Stalker?
No, not the Night Stalker. No, it was Ted Bundy. Because wasn't Ted Bundy married and everything? And everyone just thought he was like a normal guy.
How come I end up reading on here all the time and I'm friggin' retarded?
I'll read, but okay.
Theodore Robert Bundy.
Get out of here. Okay, we don't care. He was an American serial killer who kidnapped, raped, and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s and possibly earlier. After more than a decade of denials, he confessed to 30 murders he committed in 7 states between 1974 and 1978. Bundy's true victim total is unknown and is likely significantly higher.
They're giving him more credit.
Bundy was regarded as charismatic and handsome. Traits that he
I was going to add that at some point.
He exploited to win the trust of both of his victims and society as a whole. He would typically approach his victims in public places, either feigning a physical impairment, like faking it, such as an injury, or impersonating an authority figure.
Somebody just farted again.
Before bludgeoning them into unconsciousness and taking them into a secondary location to be raped and strangled. Bundy
After he bludgeoned them?
After he bludgeoned them.
So they were just unconscious, but they weren't dead.
Exactly. So did he, wake them up? Because, unconscious. So was he raping them while they were unconscious, or you make it sound like it's my breath. You're like...
It was just I had a cloud of dog fart right in front of my face.
I'm like, my breath should just smell like hard kombucha. Okay, so yes, he bludgeoned them and made them unconscious. So did he rape them while unconscious?
Seems like it.
Is that fun? I don't know either.
At least they weren't dead, I guess. I'm not sure.
Bundy often revisited his victims, grooming and performing sexual acts with the corpses until decomposition and destruction by wild animals made any further interactions impossible. He decapitated at least 12 victims and kept their severed heads as mementos in his apartment. On a few occasions, he broke into dwellings at night and bludgeoned his victims as they slept. In 1975, Bundy was arrested and jailed in Utah for aggravated kidnapping and attempted criminal assault. He then became a suspect in a progressively longer list of unsolved homicides in several states. Facing murder charges in Colorado, he engineered 2 dramatic escapes and committed further assaults in Florida, including 3 murders before his ultimate recapture in 1978. For the Florida homicides, he received 3 death sentences and 2 trials. Bundy was executed at Florida State Prison in Rayford on January 24th, 1989. So basically, he did all that shit all over the place. The last place he did it was Florida, and Florida's like, Yeah, that's a bad place. You should have picked a state without the death penalty.
But, seriously, he went on a rampage in how many states? And then he goes to Florida, and they're just like, we know how to handle this. Hey.
Is this his wife? Oh, no. That's a murder victim. I thought he was married. I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know.
I know he escaped from prison a bunch. I don't know. Either way.
He's
Florida
charismatic
trials
and handsome.
marriage. Did he get married while he was in jail?
I do not know.
All right. Well.
Death row confessions and execution.
But again, maybe this is just another thing the media wants to portray. Like, oh, he was this handsome, charismatic man. That's how he escaped.
Which is weird, right?
But it's like he's really not that freaking attractive. He's not.
But it's weird to even keep putting that out about a murderer.
But even in the documentary, they kept saying, they're like, oh, he was so handsome.
You're being very generous to somebody that killed a bunch of people.
But it's like, why are we, but it wasn't an excuse as to why they couldn't catch him sooner because he was just so handsome and so charismatic.
They're like, so handsome. Why would he do that?
Which he was not handsome. And Richard Ramirez was not, I feel like they made him...
I don't want the movie.
They made him look way better in some stuff than I think he did in real life. Which I guess is true for all Hollywood
Here we
stuff.
go. Oh, I guess you already proved that they said that he was handsome.
No, not Richard Ramirez. They said he had stinky breath and a tiny penis. Don't you remember that one?
Did they talk about what's his name's penis?
They didn't. I don't think any of Ted Bundy's victims survived.
What? He's got huge teeth, though.
Huge teeth.
Hold on, I don't think they can see it.
The huge teeth make up for a small dick.
Yeah. That's why you got them huge teeth to make up for your tiny penis.
What them teeth do?
What do you do with all them teeth? You got a tiny dick, don't you? You can't trust people with big teeth. Ladies, listen. Look, he had no teeth.
How gross he was.
He went from no teeth.
I mean, I don't think they were ever portraying Night
I was
Stalker
just asking.
as handsome.
We're just gotten into a
serial killer.
Yeah,
not
vortex.
Hard to imagine.
Just gotten into a serial killer vortex. Look at this one's the best one.
Yep.
He's like, is he trying to get off a trial? And the American Horror Story. I thought it said hero at first.
The real American Horror Story. Yeah, they made him a character in like the one season of American Horror Story that was like 1980 or something like that.
It's weird he never smiles.
And it's like
only one picture of him smiling.
They definitely made him like too good looking for the
Ramirez.
Actual. Yeah.
See this one.
Ugh.
You can barely see his choppers.
It's hard to get a picture with him and his chompers.
Who else?
Who else? There's the clown, Gacy.
Well, he was ugly. We all know that. That's
know.
why I have a joke about that.
But like, yeah, he just liked to touch little boys.
Yeah.
Who else?
He was married though.
He did get married. Yep. He had a house. That's where he buried everyone.
I was gonna say with a basement filled of.
It wasn't even a basement. It was like crawl space.
Oh yeah.
It's gross. He is gross.
He ruined clowning for a lot of people.
Yes, I would agree with that.
For a lot of kids.
What's I don't even know. Ed Gein. He's a messed up guy. I don't know what he looks like.
Ed Gein?
Yeah, he's the one who made the nipple belt.
What?
And like he made a nipple belt.
What?
Look it up. Nipple belt. Ed Gein. It's a thing. And then he also made like lampshades.
Gein?
Gein. Ed Gein. Yeah, furniture.
What?
Or just do nipple belt. He made furniture too with human skin.
Oh my god.
This is the thing. He was one of the inspirations for Silence of the Lambs.
I would imagine so.
See the nipple belt.
There's a penis belt. Is that a penis belt?
That's a tongue. That's a tongue necklace. Ed Gein.
Oh my god, dude.
He cut up a bunch of nipples. Here, the apron's really fucked up too. Click on the apron.
Whoa, this is real?
Yes, sir. This was a real person.
Oh my
Ed Gein.
god.
If you look up the Ed Gein house...
That's the gnarliest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah, he had he had furniture that was all human skin, too.
Like how many people did he kill?
I don't even know. We have to look that up. It's probably like...
Why isn't this guy all over the place?
Yeah, they don't... Why don't they do a documentary about Ed Gein?
What the fuck is that? Oh my god, look, there just keeps facing the Jabba the Hutt. He killed Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Look, this is Jabba the Hutt's face.
He just put a couple tits on there too.
There's a tit here.
Oh, there's something with ears. There's something with ears,
you know what I mean? This has got... Oh, here, there's two ears.
But there's like a...
Is that a... No, that's an eye.
There's a lampshade that's made out of something too. You have to go look at the lampshade.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah,
look,
it's crazy, right?
This is neck, chest, chin, mouth.
Yeah.
Cut. That's the most... That's a delicacy right there. Right in this area.
Don't forget the boob.
Oh, yeah. Right in this area. It's like this.
So yeah, so it's Silence of the Lambs. Shit. You know how the guy cut the skin off and would make that's who this is based off of. Ed
Holy
Gein.
friggin' shit.
Tongues. Oh, the shoes.
Backward farmhand.
How about those gloves? Check out my human skin gloves.
Oh my god. I bet they fit perfectly.
They probably are really nice.
I wonder...
I can't believe you've never heard of Ed Gein.
I've never heard of this.
All right, go back. I need to show you the lampshade.
If you get like deer skin, they're way better than getting like cowhide or whatever. I wonder if human hand...
You mean for work gloves? Or are you going to have human skin?
I need to see if I can buy these. Can I get a pair of these?
You need a pair that are already calloused. Can I get a pair of calloused human skin gloves?
Oh my goodness. Grave robbing serial killer.
There's the lampshade. Click on the lampshade. I don't know if that's real, but show everyone the lampshade.
That's real.
This was in his house. This was in his house. He
did not have guests over, I'm assuming.
I mean, maybe guests just didn't leave.
He had guests, and then they became the lampshade.
Yeah, and aprons and nipple belts and...
So how many people did this guy kill?
We're going to have to Google it, because I don't know. But we think like hundreds, probably. Ooh, skull bowls I just saw.
All right, let's look at the penis. Is this...
I don't know that that's really... it might be. I don't know.
Look at the way the hair is and the sack.
Yeah. Do we think this is real?
He's like, that is a nice cock. We're going to have to keep that one.
He liked that one. But how did he make it, like... What did he do? Chop it off?
This guy was a fucking genius. I don't know.
How is it a hard... Is it... I don't know that
he
that's
probably
real.
filled it with something. We're going to have to... Can we get to this... we need to get to this story.
Go back to the Ed Gein... Yeah, go back there. And just do Ed Gein, maybe number of victims or something.
Victims. And it said there was a documentary. Holy shit. What the fuck? He's got... If you're on audio right now... I just realized that. People on audio.
Oh, they aren't watching.
You need to go and look up Ed Gein. 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 He's got nipple belts. He's got an apron that's made out of faces, and there's ears on there. There's...
faces on the lampshade.
There's lampshade faces. There's a lampshade with a bunch of faces on it, and there's a skull and spine. Do we think that's real?
I don't.
Now I need to know what's real.
Yeah.
There's so many things. There's really human hand gloves. I'm on a page now of just... He's got...
You're going to have to go to the web results so we can figure out how many people he may have killed. See,
transgender comedian jokes about skinny cis girls.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. She apparently somebody got this fucking guy tattooed on them.
I've seen a couple of them already. That's Ed Gein's their idol. What if you got a tattoo of Ed Gein and then he murdered you and skinned your tattoo
and kept the tattoo just for the tattoo? Yeah. He found out that you had a tattoo
of him,
and he's like, nobody has my likeness, all right, motherfuckers. I'm gonna steal your likeness of my likeness.
Web results so we can, yeah.
How many victims from grunge do we think that they really? I
don't even know what grunge is.
Here's how many victims Ed Gein really had.
Am I reading again?
It's gonna be. Let's just try and skim through and see if we can. Ed Gein's first suspected victim was his brother. Was found out to be a murderer and a collector of human remains, and he wasn't found out until 1957. In hindsight, suspicions arose that maybe he was responsible for the death of his brother, Henry Gein. This happened in 1944 after Ed reported Henry missing following a brush fire on the family property, and the only to lead police right to his body when they arrived, according to Murderpedia. Henry was found. Maybe we should go to Murderpedia. Was found in a place that had not been impacted by the fire and had bruising on his head. All right, what's the number? What happened to Ed Gein's murder house?
Ooh,
can we stay in it?
Ed Gein's murder house are admittedly hideous and possibly liable to make your soul vomit into its own mouth a little bit. They're also awkwardly redundant. His murder house was just his house. It's the same way that your breathing lungs, or who wrote this article? This is awful.
They're really sticking up for him.
I don't want to read this anymore.
Ed Gein grew up in that home, and it was there that he went from being an abused and bullied child to being a grave robber, corpse defiler, and murderer. So he's justified.
Right, because he was abused. Even Silence of the Lambs antagonist Buffalo Bill would probably hose himself off again and again after hearing about what went on in Gein's house. His crimes were unthinkable, unspeakable, but not unwritable. No pain, no gain.
Right, we just want a friggin' number.
This article is ridiculous.
This is a very long article tonight.
Well, he started talking about Son of Sam and everything else. Ted Bundy. All right,
What's going on?
They're talking about all the serial killers.
Okay. Wikipedia. Because there can't be wrong on Wikipedia.
We trust this. He was also known as the Butcher of Plainfield, or the Plainfield Ghoul. Was an American murderer and body snatcher. Gein's crimes committed around his hometown of Plainfield, Wisconsin, gathered widespread notoriety in 1957 after authorities discovered he had exhumed corpses from local graveyards and fashioned trophies and keepsakes from their bones and skin. Gein also confessed to killing two women. Tavern owner Mary Hogan in 1954 and hardware store owner Bernice Warden in 1957. So he was just more of a grave robber than a murderer, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
You would think, whatever. But still.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, right?
Pretty wild. Fate of Gein's property. I want to see his chairs and stuff now.
Oh, yeah, go to look up his furniture, Ed Gein furniture.
He liked to sit on that. That was his favorite seat.
Might have been his favorite seat in the house. There it is.
Furniture. Real. That's how you know it's real. Raymore and Flanagan.
Flanagan selling Ed Gein furniture.
It's expensive. You can get that dick for $150,000.
You can sit right on it. I feel like Raymer and Flanagan's not that expensive. It's
For that dick it is. It's
$3,000
never going to be a
dick.
dick made again.
How about that chair?
What's
How much
going
does Raymer
on?
and Flanagan charging for the chair?
How about that purse?
It's a nice purse. Do you think all those girls, if like Louis Vuitton or whatever, those popular,
Made them a purse?
Put that and then just put their logo on it, do you think all the girls would buy it because it's whatever? Michael Kors, Louis Vuitton, I don't know, whatever the popular.
What if it was actually Michael Kors, the purse?
And then they just put skin on top of it?
No, he killed Michael Kors.
Oh. This is the Michael Kors purse.
Listen, there are literally 10 purses made out of Michael Kors, all right? That's it. There'll never be any more made.
What are the other? I don't even know I don't buy like expensive purses. I don't know any of the names. I can't even help with another one. Fendi.
Oh my God. This shit looks fake. You can't, like, in your actual head, like, he probably just, he sat on this stuff. I'm sure he just hung out in there on it.
Yeah, that was his furniture.
Holy smokes. Like, what happens to you? What happens to a person?
He lived out his days in a mental hospital.
You don't say. Okay, here's 20. It says 21 photos, and then there's just one photo. I don't understand. What is going on?
Yeah. There's the purse.
That's
Go
crazy.
down.
That was it. This is all that was on here.
21 photos.
That's what I was just on.
Oh, no, I thought it was something else.
Yeah, but that's what I clicked on. There you go. They were only showing you the first one.
Oh, okay.
That's people looking out in from outside and throwing up. Logan's looking to his residence after his arrest as news of his crime spread across the nation. They went there and checked it out, and they're like, yo, that is my aunt's face on that chair.
Heads, death masks. Death masks. We have a death mask.
Oh, shit.
A newly butchered corpse of a neighboring woman.
One of the few uncluttered rooms. His mother frequently occupied this room, which Geen left spotless after she died, November 20th, 1957.
Oh, wow.
Here, the utterly chaotic kitchen where parts of Geen's victims' bodies were found. Ed Geen's eerie, dirty living room. It's a picture of a dirty living room. Oh, that's probably some human skin. A chair found in Geen's home upholstered with human skin. He was a fine craftsman.
He was.
I do have to say that. Ed Geen's neighbor, Bob Hill, looking around in horror, he visited Geen the same day he killed Mrs. Warden, November 20th, 1957. He never thought it was weird he could never get in the house. He was like, no.
What are they looking at?
I don't know. They're pointing at... Police are pointing at something.
Yeah, they're not... They... Oh, that was the human skin. One of the human skin chairs.
Police investigators dig into Geen's garage. And... they stole his car. Investigators move a car to properly clear the area of any potential evidence, which Geen's house of horrors had plenty. Let's see some good stuff here.
Yeah, they're just showing, like...
that he was a fucking... This guy is the original... Hoarder. But he hoarded people's...
human skulls
skin.
and various body parts.
I don't see anything in that.
I know. I feel like they were shielding us from that in 1957.
A crowd of around 2,000 combed through Ed Gein's former belongings during an auction following his arrest. How many got human chairs?
That's a good question.
They burnt the house down.
They did? That's a bummer. They should have left it.
Smoldering ruins is all that remains of the House of Horrors after a fire of undermined cause destroyed the building. That was definitely written in 58. An undermined cause?
Yeah, that's weird. They didn't show anything good in those pictures.
No, they didn't.
Just got boring.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. So, anyway, back to good-looking serial killers. Are there any? I don't think so. What did the Golden State Killer look like? Or the Green River Killer?
I don't know. We're going to... Attractive serial killers. Somebody already did it.
Ted Bundy's number one.
Is he number one? Andrew Cunanan.
Oh, how
Victor Punani.
Yes. Victor Punani's namesake.
So we call V Victor Punani sometimes.
Yeah.
Because we watched the what was it just called? Versace.
It was on FX. Yeah, they did the Versace. It was so good. And Andrew Cunanan, whatever his name is.
Weird. He's a weirdo. Charles Manson?
He's good looking?
Yeah, exactly. I'm confused.
Richard Ramirez.
I mean, these are the only serial killers.
Yeah, they're
John Wayne Gacy, they're just naming everyone.
Holmes.
I mean, he looks better looking than...
He looks very dapper. Is that
Glenn Rogers.
He doesn't look handsome. He looks like...
When a murderer's nickname is Casanova, the Casanova Killer.
He looks like the dad next to us on the beach. He doesn't even look... He looks like a normal...
John Paul Knowles. Oh,
the Casanova Killer.
Is that actually him?
I don't know.
It's weird. Charles Schmidt.
Also not that
Pied
attractive.
Piper of Tuscan for seducing and murdering 3 young girls in Arizona in the mid-60s. He was described as intelligent, good-looking, and charming by both contemporary and recent accounts, but not enough to evade prison. Again, what does that mean? If he was really good-looking, you'd be like, he's too good-looking to... Real life werewolves?
Alright. So this means they ate people?
The werewolf of Wisteria was also a cannibal.
Yeah, I'm not sure I really believe werewolves. Are they just saying that these are cannibals? But are they just calling them werewolves? Know. Oh my god.
Wolfie Blackheart boiled a dog's head. I don't know that makes...
Alright. We're going down a weird rabbit hole right now. Oh, he's
there he
handsome.
is, the best looking serial killer.
That's it, Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews pleaded not guilty by reason of werewolf.
What does that mean? Is that a defense?
Yeah, he couldn't help himself. He was werewolf.
Of werewolf as a defense?
He was werewolf
what kind of lawyer is like, the guy's like, oh, it was a werewolf. And they're like, oh, that's a great defense. That's perfect. That's it. That's going to be it.
Thies of Kalterbrunn claimed to be a werewolf witch hunter.
In what year?
1691. Wolfman Peter Stump killed children and livestock in the 1500s. The werewolf of Georgia snacked on her neighbor's sheep. And this is 1911.
It was just a coyote?
Drunk werewolf Thomas Stroop destroyed a campground. 2011. All these things are like 100 years apart.
And like werewolf witch. Like, okay, what is it? This was just like some religious person that was like, oh, it must have been a witch. Oh, maybe it was a werewolf. We'll just say it was a werewolf witch.
16th century
France. They blame
France.
everything that happened on witches. Anything bad happened, they're like, it was a witch.
Lai Cowan became a wolf after eating human flesh. Rancor.
Wow.
Where'd you find your sources, Rancor?
I'm not sure about all the werewolf stuff. It's just like another thing that they like they like to blame witches. Like the kids ate some freaking bad poisonous stuff, and then they're like, "Oh, it must be witches in Salem." They were eating like ergot or stuff, and they were eating whatever the berries were, and they were like usually get ergot on them.
Was it berries? I thought it was the bread and stuff. I thought it was all the wheat. Oh, could have been
the wheat. Yeah, it had the ergot. Yeah. And so people were like just tripping.
So ergot is it's a fungus or a mold.
Yep, and it makes you trip.
And it gets on to wheat
and other different
grains
plants,
and stuff like that. So even they think, I guess the beer would have been fine because they would have heated it up.
Yeah. Oh my God, someone stinks so bad.
But the bread was making people trip, which is why they think that's a good one for another show because we're already at an hour. But that's why they started hunting the witches. They think was because people were tripping, and then they
were like, they're possessed.
Well, and the women were the witches were like medicine people.
Well, in real, so the medicine woman or like the healer, like they were the witches because they knew all the herbs to give and stuff like that. Yeah.
So they were trying to get rid of that at the same time.
Right. They really helped those pharmaceutical companies out early before they even knew they were helping them out. They're like, let's get rid of all the people who know how to use all the ancient herbs.
Nature to heal you.
Use nature to kill you. Let's just wipe them out. And they did. They killed like millions of people through like the Inquisitions and stuff. Like there was millions of women killed.
So back in the day, before all this, women were basically the healers through all this. They would make like tinctures and stuff like that, or potions.
Yeah. But that's why they got called witches.
Well, I was just explaining in case people didn't know. So that's why they were calling them witches. Then when some people started to trip balls, they're like, obviously the witch did this to them, so.
Yep. But it's like in that case, there really wasn't, I don't even know that there were any supposed witches. It was just like they just started blaming random innocent women that they didn't like in society. They're like, if you were like kind of an outcast in society, like, oh, she must be a witch.
So
or
if
like,
you wouldn't sleep with some guy, they were just like, this
bitch
is a witch.
Yeah, possibly. Like, but that happened. And then like you didn't like your neighbor did something to piss you off. You went to the town like, oh, they're a witch. And then they pull them out of their house and lock them up and do all sorts of weird torture things to them.
Or you want that house?
Yeah. Seems like a good thing to say. Want that?
I'll take the witch house. Don't worry. Like everybody's afraid.
Hey, that's a nice piece of property.
Yeah.
The person who owns it must be a witch.
Yeah.
Burn them. All
right. We're back in New Jersey, which nobody from New Jersey says that. I don't understand how that started.
I don't know either. But I'm
getting very tired.
I know I got tired when you were reading werewolves.
So yes.
Maybe we need to do the next episode on ergot, and we can talk about, or just tripping in general, and we can talk about our book that we read.
What book did we read?
The book with the like how they found all the evidence in ancient civilizations, like in Greece and stuff, that they in their ceremonies, that the wine casks had like evidence of
other
like
things
that you would be tripping off of.
Right.
And so like that just at these in the beginning stages of Christianity, they were still doing this, and that was the way to like connect with like the source. That's what
the sacrament, the wine was originally.
Yeah, it was really just some wine laced with whatever mushroom ergot.
And then they had a bunch of other herbs in it.
Yeah, probably.
They said that a lot of the other herbs also kind of create some kind of like add to it, or are also a form of psychedelic.
And we made spiked wine a couple times for Thanksgiving, and then maybe Shh, we didn't give it to our family, we swear. Oops.
All right, dog keeps farting.
I know. All right, turn the camera off. I can't breathe. Good night.
Peace out.